Ombute Devi here. Hi, everyone. So, the reason for me doing these posts of the journey, I do journeys with my clients in person for up to 3 days. And so, these posts are a way for me to see how I can take some of the highlights or tidbits out and make it applicable and easy for someone that is not in a deep dive to just have a taste of what it would be like to practice some of these tools and be guided into a state and a place of awareness where you can connect to aspects of yourself that in your everyday life might not be on board with you. And why this? For so many reasons. To heal inner relations with self, to heal the physical body, because once we're connected with our physical body, we listen better. We are able to understand the cues and provide them self-care better. There are so many things going on in this world right now. So there's on the bigger scale, being able to, I believe being able to practice these technologies to actually do that with the intention of activism. And what I mean is, I believe activism through meditation. I believe activism through self-embodiment, because it's about resonance and energy. And I myself are healing lots of things that are coming up because of the turbulence in my own life and in the collective life. We're not immune from it. I mean, our collective vibration is coming down. It's coming down. It's in jeopardy. And we feel that way. But it is the natural movement of evolution and involution, the ups and downs. But what we're looking in our own lives is that we're on a spiral, but we think about the spiral moving forward or upwards, and sometimes downwards, but not backwards. Sometimes a little bit backwards to be able to have a little bit more momentum on certain aspects. Like we go back in time and reflect on our own journey in life to see where we can, what we can learn from our mistakes, where we can learn from our decisions that we made that didn't work out, so that we don't repeat. But, and why these journeys? And the last journey that I did, we're doing the Svadhishthana. We're sitting in the consciousness of Svadhishthana right now that I'm working with, the second chakra. And there's so much there. And it is the place for self-nourishment. It is this place for self-embodiment. It is also the place for our desire. The one thing that drives this whole machine. Because if we don't desire something, we're not moving towards something. We're not moving. So when one's separated to cause this tension, so that there's a movement in tension, there's two primary movements in this universe. And that is contraction and then the release. And the contraction and the release, or opening or closing, or in breath or out breath. It's the yin, the yang, the positive and the negative, the masculine and the feminine, yada, 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 yada. But it's an energy, it's a movement. And so with these meditations and these practices, I'm inviting an exploration in how we can start to really, really open up our own desire, deepest desire that is sitting in the truth of us. The truth of us is love. The truth of us is love. I mean, look, we are looking for like, what's the big truth? The truth of us is love. And what is such a big thing? But what does it mean? It means that if you look at unperturbed expressions of life, it is love. The baby wants to play. It comes out with love. The puppy is all love. The beautiful foal and colt is all love and play. So we know that. And we know when we are protected, when we have our foundational, our primary needs met, and we can relax. What do we relax into? We don't relax into rage. We don't relax into fear. We relax into a place that never really moves, that is always there, is the love. And it moves us like this joy. So again, if we can come into and touch some part of that on an everyday basis, because listen, COVID hit, 5G came on board, and the frequencies these days are gnarly. It is gnarly. So I am not a person that is political. I am not out there with marching. I'm not that person. I am a person that's sitting in another frequency of activism. And that is, how can we, in every moment that we can breathe independently, and we have some kind of safety. We're not under direct threat, but we are struggling with internal conflicts and our everyday sort of challenges to make ends meet and care for our family. Where in that can we touch that joy? Can we touch that resonance that is us, that we have to protect? And we are being slowly just shoved out of the saddle. And I say, hold on to your horses, hold on, because we are coming off fast. And when we are not planted in that soil of our true resonance of this love, which is just being able to take a breath without pain, without being identified with the past struggles and past failures and past circumstances, but in this moment being able to have access to freedom. And when we do that, we change the resonance in that moment, and it ripples out. And the more we do it, and the more of us doing it, we are changing the resonance for all of us. The energetic immunity, the energetic power that we have, it's like flickering. You know those diners, those old diners, or those old scary movies where, like, the scene is like the neon lights are like and there's like one person in that dark diner, and you're like, you're not going in there. You do not go in there. It's not like, hey, I'm going to go in and get coffee and apple pie there because that looks really great. No, that's not where we go. Right? But that's where people with energies with low intention will go, because it's like, oh, that is ripe for a robbery. That is ripe for like whatever. And this is what we are. When I go in and check our grid, and when I work with my ancestors, it's kind of like they give me the scene, like, oh my God, you guys are sitting in that dark diner with those neon lights that are flickering. We have no power. So I'm saying, let's restore that. And we can't do it by ourselves. I can certainly not do it by myself. And I am wanting desperately to feel a coherent wave of this this love and this trust in humanity, and that knowing that, oh my God, these are my people, these are my peeps, this is my flock. Like, we're going, like, here we are, we're migrating back into our future selves, you know, and we're learning from our past that's right here, right now, that war and conflict and separation does not solve anything, nothing. But that courage and presence and vulnerability in coming into love, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And so what happens? We know so many things. So many of our practices are about, here it is. This is how we work with shadow. This is how we approach intention and manifestation, and these are how the ley lines are on the planet, and this is what we have to do for that. And I mean, there's like so much going on, and our nervous system are like, okay, I know it. And some of us have brains that are like, okay, when I see something that I didn't see before, that fixes it. And for some of us, our brains are like, when I see something, understand something, I keep struggling with how to actually connect that to my animal, to my nature, so it actually makes a difference. So it does this alchemical movement, and like, whew, vitality comes on board, right? Because most of us and I'm talking to, you know, energy workers, healing arts practitioners who have been like giving, or those of us that are sitting in a conflict of like, hey, we've gone through, we've done that, been there, bought the t-shirt, and we're still like, what? How do we undomesticate the natural movement that does us, so that we don't have to use this mental condition construct and apply all of that effort, but that we actually am able to, and I hate this word sometimes, surrender. Surrender, right? To something that does us, that we can trust, that we know is us. Like, oh my God, this is it. To make way, to steward something, and whew, right? And so these practices are about that. It's about exploring how the animal aspect of us, our nature, that has very strong and particular ways in how it moves, and requirements for moving, for expanding, right? And again, so this polarity, how do we bring this raw energy of us into this sophisticated and articulated and this perspective now, this new consciousness that we're coming into? How do we actually marry this in the temple of our body, so that we, on an everyday basis, can actually stand and receive what we are talking about, what we are searching, what we are digesting, what we are, scientificating, sound, music. Those are things that are coming up strong right now. Symbolism coming up strong right now, because this is how our soul really communicates. It's the language of the soul. And so these journeys, I slapped this 1 and 20-minute journey on my YouTube channel. It's a long journey, and like I said, a journey in person is about 8 to 12 hours. and we go really deep on all these aspects in different ways. And then we, and sometimes what happens is old life, like the parallel lifelines and past lifelines comes through, and we see them. And then we feel what it is today, because everything that we are sitting in is right here, right now. And if we can't access it right here, right now, then don't effort about it, because we want to tend to what is actually moving. But how to come into that, because we're so numb most times, and we are only surfacing certain waves of frequencies, because these are the waves that are used every day. These are the thought patterns that are used every day, because I'm in this kind of profession, I am in this kind of environment, I am doing, I'm tending to this particular subject or project. So some of the other aspects of us just gets atrophied. And this is why leading into these journeys, the exploration is to wake up these aspects of us that have not been on board. And these aspects of us is that one aspect of nature that we can't fool. We can't fool, because, listen, when the body goes, we're done. When the body goes, we're done. We have no vocal cords, we have no muscles and bones, we have no, there's all that is gone. And all we do on the other side is we communicate through frequencies and symbols and visions and blah, 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 blah. Those are the things how we communicate with, if we're not being channeled through another person's body. So this is my cacao, so good. This particular cacao today is from Guatemala. From San Marcos. It's really great. I should post the name below, because it's run by a company by just women, and they're amazing. And that's Kratos, the dog, the big guard dog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first, we're going to take bite-sized samples of the journey. We're going to break it up, because I want us to get back into our seat, because I want to find my flock. So this is why I'm here. It's not like I'm here to get fame and fortune, because that's not going to happen in this way. Fame and fortune for me is feeling utterly alive and connected to something that I am engaged with, to be seen and to see. And I want to see beauty. I want to be in beauty. And sometimes it doesn't look that pretty, but I know it's in there, right? It's looking at this big cluster of an unpolished diamond, and you're like, oh, I know. I know. And this is what happens when we see and hear each other, and we can recognize something in each other. We go, wow, okay, that's it. Okay, that. So whatever this spewing is, right, of my thoughts and feelings here, if there's anything that's like, oh, that one, that, then take it into yourself and say, what is it in that wants to shake it up a little bit, that wants a little room, that has a little spark? Because we need to get that neon sign all open, glowing, illuminating, so bright, so strong, so powerful that it washes away anything that is of discord and separation. The one thing that's very important also, we talk about living without fear and all of that stuff. Yeah, that's right. That's not going to happen. We always have fear on board on some levels and some aspects. How we identify with it is a different story. But what's happening now with those really low thought forms, because of the environmental frequencies that are out there right now. I'm not going to say environmental. I'm not going to call it the name that we're not supposed to say, because I don't want to not be part of this discussion. So there's a lot of things that we cannot say here, but let's just say those thought forms that are not good for us. So they are riding us. So this is an experience, they are riding us. So we are thinking something, and then something comes on board and crushes it. And we think, oh my God, I'm sitting in fear, I'm sitting in doubt, that's not you. That's not you, right? Because we're being fed so much of these lower thought forms, and they're pervading our own beings. And fear is one of them. So now we're sitting here, we're trying to use our imagination and intent and manifest something, but there's this fear that's running through us, right? So imagination and fear is not sustainable. So what I'm saying is I want to switch that through really grounding in the now, really feeling present, and really feeling that we got our own thumb on our own pulse, so that we know when these lower thought forms are actually present, and we can create spaciousness around them, so that we don't identify with them in our bodies, and our bodies are not responding to them, and we're coming into a state of sympathetic, dominance, because we don't want to be there. We don't want to be there, right? Because that's so traumatic. And that's what I'm recovering from a lot right now as well. So what I am saying here, what I'm suggesting, that if you can come into a place of freedom, or at least ease, and then from that ease, bring the love and imagination. If we can imagine, because right now, in this time and place, we need imagination like nobody's business. Because this is how we imagine worlds. We need imagination, but we need imagination sitting in our own seat of freedom, of our own sovereignty. We will need to sit there and imagine, not in someone else's booth of fear, separation, and doubt that, is this ever going to happen? Is this ever going to change? Are we just going down the rabbit hole? Is it going to get really bad before it gets, better? Okay, probably so. But that doesn't mean that you have to define yourself as a person that's going down with the ship. You can define yourself as a person that believes in the human heart and the human spirit. And that in this lifetime, right now, I'm going to do better because I feel better. And so we're going to get into the feeling better about your internal environment right now, and owning that, because outside of us is a shit show. But inside of us, we're soldiering up. And we're soldiering up with the love and the freedom that is inherent in us. Okay. So, first thing we're going to do is the practice of just toning. We're going to just tone. We're just going to do toning. And we're going to do an arriving practice. So let's do that right now. The arriving practice is just wherever you are, however you are, take stock. Let's just take stock. I'm sitting here in my barn hut, in my little recording corner. Behind these walls is a big hill, and there are about 15 horses in the back pastures here. Below me are some dogs, beautiful dogs, a couple of cats, and then the rest of the barn in front, and the horses and the paddocks. It's early morning. The rain just came after a beautiful sunrise. And it's warm. And I have incense going in my temple, and it smells good. And I am feeling turned on. I am feeling turned on by some energy that came into me this morning in my sit to even do this recording. Like it's running, and I just felt like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna see what happens, what this voice wants to say, what my nature wants to do this morning. And one of the things is like the toning, right? So see where you are. It's very important for your nervous system to feel connected to the space that you are, so that your body can be, because your body is always in the now. And most times when we're running around, or even in our morning practice, we are thinking about the day ahead. And the body's like, but we're here. And the body's taking in all this information right now and right here. But if we are not part of it, what happens is there's this split, there's a discord. And when I'm talking about embodiment, and especially activism through embodiment, it is, you have to be in the now. Because when a person on the other side of the planet is being violated, they are struggling with being in the now, because it's so painful and violent that their spirit just, because they're overwhelmed and they're trying to survive, and their light is going like this, right? They're trying to leave the body. And so much of that is happening in this world, on the planet today, that so many of the lights are just trying to leave the body. And if we're walking around not being fully in our bodies, it's we're tipping the scale, right? We're tipping the scale, and those, like, in a negative, right? In a default level, and those heavy thought forms that are pervading our environment will get us. Because if you're not in the body, something else is. And if you are not stewarding your mind properly, something else is, right? And so within the context of, we all have different brains, we have to see what practice really works for us, for our brain, how we can use the brain in the best of our ability to get the most bang for the buck, how our nervous system works. My nervous system is highly sensitive, meaning that it processes, not emotional, but it processes on so many levels, on all senses, through the touch, the sound, the smell, the vision, the hearing. Everything gets processed on very, very, very profound levels, on all simultaneously. All right? That's how it is. So it's not like I just heard something and, I'm thinking about what I heard. No. I heard something, and then the body's like, what does it smell like? What does it feel like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? Like, my body does all of that at the same time. Boom. Right? So and I have a racing brain. My brain just race, like a racehorse. So I have to okay. All right. Slow down. So that's why I have to look around the brain and go, okay, what thought can come out here now? And sometimes it's just spewing like this. When I have enough energy, then it just I can trust it. I let it, I sort of drop my reins and let it go a little bit, and then see what happens. And that's, I don't know if it always is useful or not, but I'm saying this because a lot of you can relate. It's especially practitioners that have been working with your hands on for a long time, and your hands have done the work, and your skill set that you have, have experience with, and have just programmed, right? You're running these programs in your brain because you have trained. There's that trained programs, but this is something different. We're going to have to go beyond that, You have to go beyond that and see what's there when that is not the predominant state of being. So let's just be very subtle in how we are sitting and where we are sitting and how we are feeling and looking around in our environment, and just arrive here. And this is what I want you to do. Let's do the sigh breath. We take 2 breaths in through our nose and we just sigh. So we go. Again. This is how we can move a little pointer from sympathetic to parasympathetic, and kind of the dial. We want to dial back into balance, right? So this is how we dial back into balance. And again. And again. That's it. And just receive that. Now that you're in the place where you are, just receive yourself right here. That's all you have to do. Just receive yourself right here. How does that feel? How does that feel? So is there anything that wanted to be part of your day as you sprint out and into your day? Is there anything here that you have put on the back burner that you weren't listening to, but that there's a cue here, right? What's your body cue? What is it saying? Is it saying like, hey, you're a little dehydrated today. Make sure you're plenty of hydration today because you're going to need it. Your light, your energy needs to have more hydration. Is there a tone of voice that needs to come through today? Is there someone or something that you just need to touch in with? Maybe yourself. Is there a part of you that's have been struggling a little bit this week and coming into this weekend and saying, oh my God, if I could just I just made it through the week. And so, okay. And now, how do I caretake of that aspect that was like holding on by the skin of its teeth, you know? Like, okay, I powered through, you know, because most of us have very strong willpower and we just power through. But it's not about the willpower right now, right? It's about our animal power. It's about our nature power. You gotta bring, you know, like hand over the mic. So even if it's right now for just 2 or 3 minutes here, just saying, wow, here I am, wow. And whether we know it or see it or feel it, we are connected with all. We are connected to the individual on the other side of the planet. They're also saying, wow. Life's tough. Things are strange. But having the moment here to self-nourish by acknowledging your inherent birthright to take a breath of freedom. And those sisters and brothers that are not in that place where they can take a breath of freedom because it looks very dim and scary and horrible on so many levels, can we just say, okay, I am going to take that breath for you. I am going to take that breath for you, sister. I'm going to take this breath in with the intention of blessing, acknowledging, witnessing. And I'm going to exhale right here and right now and saying thank you, thank you, thank you. 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 And from this place today, I am just going to be a little bit more in my body, in my heart, in my belly, and listen to the animal that is connected to the herd of the animal, the human being. We are all connected to each other, whether we like it or not, whether we are aware of it or not, on some very profound and mysterious way, on this profound level that surpasses our understanding. But I know that some of you know, because when you think of someone and that someone calls you like a split second later from the other side of the world, of course you're connected, right? Of course you're connected. So I am saying, for those of you that I am feeling right now, I love you so much, and I give so much appreciation for, even if you are witnessing and just passing by, surfing by this post, this channel, this moment. I thank you for seeing me. I thank you for just considering me as another human being, want to be part of the solution for love, wanting to be part of this human spirit, finding my own way to offer up my breath and my light in this way. And I say thank you so much. And as we arrive here in this moment, we're doing the toning. Let's do a toning for the Svadhishthana, which is VAM, 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 VAM. So let's do that. So we're going to do from the belly, we're going to go VAM, VAM, VAM. And we can place one hand on the tummy, the right hand on the tummy, and the other hand we can hold out like we are receiving the light. And we are going to do VAM. Okay? From the belly. We're sending out this bija sound, the seed sound for the sacral chakra, the deep center of self-abode desire. We are sending out this frequency, sitting in the connection with this love. Again, from the belly. Again. Tomorrow, Sunday, December 3rd, I'm having an integration class on Zoom. Call it class, it's just a gathering. We're going to practice some more tools of toning the chakric body. We're going to practice the meditation for the Svadhisthana with the bija, the sound meditation, and come together and continue anchoring in the frequency of this deep desire of the human heart, the spirit, to connect, to be part of something great, even in the midst of darkness. That's the challenge, right? to be the light, even in the midst of darkness. And this is what this means. This is not avoidance. This is not avoidance. Oh my God, we feel it. Are we not? Every day we're soldiering. Every day we're out there. This is not avoidance. This is courage to sit and tone the frequency of love in our bodies, in this place of darkness that so many of us are a part of experiencing. And I am just feeling privileged and blessed where I am. And so, yes, love. Okay. She wants to say hi. Hi. So much love here. So much love. I'll post also the link to the Zoom for tomorrow. It's at 11 o'clock and we can get together and do some more practices. But this is, a part of an arriving and toning practice, just to start to come into the body. Okay? Start to come into the body. So I'm going to break this long journey that I posted into small bite sizes. And next time we're just going to go, step by step. Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Love you.